way, vVv going to have to put it behind him.
Yep.
As League waits for no man, going to ban out Sivir, Orianna, and Riven on the vVv side. CompLexity got Ringar and Chivy banned, waiting on their last one. It's going to be Elise. Send it on over to get snuggled to get started with the picks.
And they're banning out the Riven from Mega Zero. He played that, but not to great effect, but people keep banning it out from him. They just don't want to deal with it. First thing locked in is apparently a Mundo.
Yes, sir. And, you know, I got to say, Chris, in that last game, played a convincing Riven. It made a good argument for keeping Riven off the field. Mega Zero, obviously, if he has a good game, he gets up and running. Could be looking a lot like Chris in that last game. Very, very destructive force there, especially through the mid part of the game. But vVv, you know, they had themselves a big, basically not a power spike so much as a resistance spike through the sort of mid and late game that they finally got over with the in-game builds.
It's absolutely true. Just pulling up what I got for CompLexity here. They're going to lock in the Annie for MIA, and Chuper's going to have Lucian on this one, and that's a great bottom lane comp. You zone people so hard.
Yes, indeed. Seen it over and over again throughout the tournament. Quantic on Friday played the combination to fantastic result, but today we just don't like to talk about
it. And 2-3 spots for vVv, and their composition, you know, really no tells yet about what they're going to run. We just know that they're going to have what's most likely a top lane Mundo. You can play him in the jungle, but he just came back into the top. He just has so much regen from his passive in the Perseverance Mastery.
Evelyn. Sit on to Evelyn. Over to Vi. Kassadin, Kassadin been banned a lot today.
Especially against Cheese.
The bans. Might make it out onto the field.
Cheese Beluga, it's one of his best champions. We see him on Kassadin all the time. I think we saw him during the round-robin stages. He absolutely decimated people on that. And combined with a Vi, nobody's getting away in that back line if they put him in his sights.
Add that on to a big front line by way of Mundo there, and there's just a lot that he can really, really get done because it gives Cheese Beluga a wider field to work in. Going to have two very dangerous frontliners running it out for him. We even saw Cheese Beluga play a little bit from behind. Didn't have a stellar laning phase earlier on when he played Kassadin, not earlier today, but earlier in the tournament. Still managed to work it out, though, and get back in there in the late game with some strong kill pickups. Very common to see the teleport taken on Kassadin. Right now, don't know what it is. He may. Yeah. We can't talk about it because we're live.
And it looks like CompLexity pick up the Zed in the mid lane.
Zed and J4. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I got to say, when you see a Zed getting work done, that's a thing of beauty. It's actually a horrifying thing if you're on the enemy team, but we'll see what they can do with it. Jinte been just really having a great day today.
Yeah, CompLexity, I think they are 1-0 today, beating Quantic.
Yep. Yeah. Orianna work by Jinte earlier was molto bene.
That's Lithuanian, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Jurvik Kirksik taught me that.
Oh. He seems like a stand-up guy, man. I got to meet him.
He is. You got to meet him. Next time we're over in the Balkans, I'm going to call him and say, hey, come out, and we'll hang out. Tails going to lock in a Vayne grab there.
It's always banned against him. So finally being able to pick up that champion, we're going to see some Tails Vayne play, and he's usually fantastic on that champion. And even when he doesn't do well, he still carries into the late game.
Going to lock the Thresh as well. No real surprises on the support side of things. Did see a Janna come out in that last game, but not a lot of really surprising champs there. We've seen the Lissandra support earlier on in the tournament come out. I'd still like to see it now, especially, like you said, with some of those new Gold Generation items and the Frost Queen's Hambone, I think it's called.
It's Frost Queen's Claim. That's what it is.
Okay. I was pretty sure it was Hambone, though.
I was trying to think of it.
Did you look it up, or did you just...
Yeah, no. I got it off the top of my head. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's the Frost Queen's Claim because she has a claim. And you said
I remember Hambone pretty specific. I don't think I would get that wrong.
Okay. Yeah. It must be that.
Because it kind of fell off of her table, which is how I got into the... Renekton sit right now. Frost Queen's Claim. I got to remember that. I can't, for whatever reason, I never remember that last
I don't know how much you're going to see it, though.
Yeah, not a lot. And the lock on Renekton, going to be good. We'll go into our spec delay, which is going to make everybody happy. So, just to run it down, it's going to be vVv letting Mundo, Vi, Cassidon, Vayne, and Thresh on the complexity side. Renekton, J4, Zed in the mid lane. Yeah, good times. Lucian and Annie down bottom. We'll see if vVv can come back from what had to be a very disappointing end to a very long game. If Complexity's got the stuff to keep jiggling and wiggling, hop into it. God, all my UI scales all down. Oh, man. It's so disorienting. Servers. We've switched servers.
Uh-oh. Get snuggled.
Get snuggled. Gonna walk in and find a party waiting for him. Oh, he doesn't like surprise parties. He's gonna go. Gets out. Oh. If just vVv gonna win the skin war. Even though I'm deeply offended by Officer Vi's high heels. They just are just the unnecessariness of them. That's how you pronounce that.
Oh, they had to raise her butt up even more. It's the theme of every Vi skin as they release them. Eventually, her butt's going to be on her back.
Yeah, she is going to look great.
She'll love it. I'll insta-buy that one. I'm just waiting for her. I'm holding out, saving my RP.
Yeah, that's next Christmas.
Yeah, get snuggled. Doesn't have flash, so he brought barrier and didn't even pop it there. Felt like he was safe. Mega Zero took Ruthless Predator as soon as he saw that Get Snuggled was face-checking that and used his Ignite. No other summoner spells used. So just the Ignite from Mega Zero.
Complexity not going to be spotted on the roam. A lot of these guys in gold. I mean, you'd be surprised. But
the Challenger border looks so much like gold.
It is. It really, it's not that fancy or flashy. It's slightly bigger.
It got you.
But otherwise, I was like, what is the gold? Yeah.
Such improvement from these players.
They need to work it out. And then my brain went, oh, it's Challenger. Yeah. And then a half a second of what?
Yep, the invasion coming in here, getting the blue buff. It's a great move because if Vi doesn't read it, he's going to actually end up not having a blue buff if he goes to his.
Got a ward over in the area, so they've got vision. Should know.
But if they go over, they're going to see it with that ward that Complexity put down. See, because they currently see Godshoe heading towards the mid lane.
Gonna roll it on. Oh, I gotta say though, it could be a rough one here. Vi get ahead in that area. Goes Golems next, and looks like it's got time. I mean, because J4s do start red from time to time.
Yeah, you typically start on the opposite side that you're going to gank first. So you will go blue-red top, or if you want to go bottom, you go red-blue bottom. It really just depends on where you want to gank. It really seems to be the deciding factor in where you start as a jungler. Vi, still no blue. Cuts his losses and says, you know what, I'll wait for J4 to start doing it for me.
I got to make mention, too, we have our first Relic Shield of the game.
Oh. And also, they lane swapped their ADC and their support into the mid lane against the Cassidon, because that's how you shut down Cassidon, is that 2v1. But if Cassidon gets one kill in that lane, it really, really stops all that effort you put into him. It really just counteracts it. So they put Zed down bottom to deal in the 2v1.
A little bit of a rock in a hard place kind of a situation, too, because it means you're going to have Vayne down bottom, basically doing ever what she wants.
Ninjakin just went over the wall. There's no wards here. Waiting for his flag cooldown, and he might go in again.
Hope Godshoe spends a couple of key spells here. Make sure that they don't have the getaway juice they need. Does have the lantern. Jumping bump's going to land. Tails backs it up. Nice read there. Going to tumble away. They've still got a lot of chase potential, but no auto attacks coming out from Ninjakin onto Tails means they can't catch it up. They get away from that gank clean.
And there was no flash blown there. Just the exhaust from Godshoe. The ignite blown from Jinte. And that was actually really good timing on the flag and drag from Ninjakin, because he held on to it, saw the lantern drop, but the thing is he saw Tails use Tumble, his escape mechanic, to go ahead and say, that's when I'm going in. It was a fantastic job there with the gank. Didn't actually get anything out of it, and the gold's even.
Cooldown spun a little bit too quick for him. I gotta say, after the end of that last game, and with all the sort of lag sliding,
it's refreshing.
It feels so slow right now. Everybody was going so fast in that last game. I mean, not just the lag, but I mean that Sivir, Shirelia's, whatever it's called, Shurima's.
It's Talisman of Ascension now.
Okay. All right, because it was supposed to be...
Yeah, it's the Tally.
What was that sun god name, or whatever? There was...
Oh, in the lore? Don't ask me about lore. Shirelia?
Anyway. No. The sun god for the desert area.
You got me. I don't even know that. I don't know.
It's Shirima, so it starts with an S. I don't remember. But it's what everybody was upset because they were renaming Shirelia's to...
It's Shabimbo. We all know that.
Shabambo. Yep.
How are you not on top of these?
Crocodile running out of the woods and looking super scary, and they're going to go 4 strong and mid, get mid outer here, just over 5 minutes. Gonna hit 525 when it falls, and bonk, 524, they're ruining my lives.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a support in the mid lane, and that's really did just 4-man strong, like you said, brought Mega Zero down. And Mega Zero's really learning something here, just coming out of the top lane, realizing he doesn't have to stay there and just farm all day, and he's roaming really hard. And I saw this from, I believe it was Impact in SKT. He started coming down top last night in OGN, and really his CS was down, but he started making plays and made all the difference.
Yeah, and it's a great... Just short that bush a little, I think.
These wards are so strange. There was a ward the last game, I believe, they put it in the tri-bush, and it wasn't actually in it, even though it completely was. So that ward isn't going to give him vision of that bush at all. It just sits there, and he can see the minions all right. You don't want to lose that.
He's got a great view of the minions. But otherwise, a little bit rough. Shorts the bush just a touch. And I got to say, a nice move to be made by a Renekton as well. I mean, you got to get Snuggled, who's up there. If he wants to farm up quickly and try to push the lane over, he's got to spend a lot of health, which makes him a prime target to move on over. So obviously, he's not going to be cleavering everything all the time. Going to try and keep that down as much as humanly possible. Gives Mega Zero plenty of time to move around because he's not going to rush that lane over. A quick little slice and dice. Oh, spin to win there for Mega Zero, and he's got everything taken care of. Sends it over, gets Snuggled, got more work to do.
And Porpoise Pop shows himself down bottom. They know he's there. They ping him. He's going to have a little clash here with Ninja Ken in just a moment. Actually, he's just going to get himself out. So they swapped that mid lane, the ADC and the support that they'd had there after getting the turret into the bottom lane to apply pressure and have dragon control once again. But now Cheese Beluga's up against Jinte, and Cheese Beluga bought a tier. So he's looking for that late game ramp up Kassadin.
Taking care of La Camp de Loup. That's French for them wolves over there.
They're going to contest this blue? I think they will. Ninja Ken's in the vicinity. Red is up for Vi, so Porpoise Pops might actually head there first. Yeah, they're definitely going to take this.
Gonna walk it in. Yeah, nobody even in town. Rang the doorbells, found out nobody was home. Saw the ADT sign on the line, but didn't believe it, walked in anyway. The alarms didn't go off, and they get out with the blue.
Yep, sold the TV. They're going to go pawn that. He put it to good use. A lot of gold there for them.
Yeah. Walking on out, head on back, and things going to reset there. Kassadin just doing work around the field as he can find it. Going to head back now. 10 CS lead right now for Tails. No first blood on the board through nearly 8 minutes of play. 10.1k on the overall, so that pickup onto the turret, not going to get him out front too much. Going to be made up for by some CS leads in the jungle and in bottom lane. As well as the gold generation item. MIA didn't start with one, I don't think. A little bit of a lead out on that.
I think he started with the ancient coin, didn't he? No, he didn't. You're right. He didn't.
Yeah, he's only got 52 on there.
Yeah, he picked that up very recently. Sorry about that. But yeah, Tails, always a fantastic Vayne player. He was able to free farm in that 2v1 lane, and now he's just... His mechanics are so good. Highest CS in the game. Very close to Mundo, very close to Renekton, but he just keeps going back and forth now.
Ventayne grabs a blue buff for himself. After the steal on the other side, Mundo headed back to top. I keep looking over at Cheesed Beluga, and every time I look over there, he's in the jungle doing work. Not wanting to hang out on the lane. He's trying to get a note from Mom saying he doesn't have to do it, and he can go into the jungle if he wants. But she's not wanting to write one up for him.
No, she knows he's faking. He just doesn't want to go far enough up to get ganked from behind. That's really what he's doing.
Just a little scary. Yeah, especially, you see Mega Zero swing out from the other side. Porpoise Pops in a little early, and they're just going to turn 4 strong on a Porpoise Pops. He gets out on a lantern and a prayer. The pop, done. Zed gets it.
So and
the dragon, him. Hey, why not?
First blood over to Zed, but also 3 assists on top of that. Just a lot of gold falling into their hands very quickly, 1.3k. And they're going to start pushing down this mid lane. Mundo left to his own devices up top.
Mid outer done into Kassadin without confidence. The scary thing indeed. Stun going to land on him, and mid inner going to come under attack. 5 strong now from CompLexity.
This strategy, they're just trying to get this mid lane down, put Kassadin in a strange spot so he can't get off the ground.
And it is a strange spot indeed. 2 towers in. What's he going to do?
Yeah. Jero Tolkien's going to have something to say about that.
Yeah. He walks out too far, and boom, Silmarilled. I assume that's where you were going. Silmarillion.
That's my favorite actually.
Yeah. I thought, you know, why go the other way with it?
Why not? It's good.
Why assume he's going to have an unexpected journey or anything like that? So Get Snuggled going to cancel the recall. I was ready for it. I was going to say it. That's the only reason I sounded so surprised there. 1.5k gold lead now. 2 turrets, a dragon, and a kill under their belt. vVv still hanging in there, CS-wise, especially on the Vayne side. Could come into play later on, but right now, CompLexity controller moving around the map pretty well.
And Jinte put up top just now. Warpus Pops is hanging out. Transfers bushes just fine, so he has no idea that he's here. He could actually sneak into the next one without being seen, but just not confident on it just yet.
It's a little weird, the brush vision still. Somebody got caught out earlier trying to make that sneaky move, went just a little ahead of time. Some quick pings and some quick retreats later, and a gank fell apart. Red pings onto the forward brush there. They've got a ward in it. Get Snuggled, going to come walking out. Porpoise Pops just camping up there.
Yeah.
Checking his gauntlets nails. Mega Zero onto Cheese Beluga. Gonna force him to hop away.
His hand was up.
2-level lead there is gonna be a hard one to deal with.
MIA missed the Tibbers. They're gonna lose top turret.
And Ninjakin doing what he can. Down it goes. Gonna catch him with the ult. Now he's got a long run. Zed coming up. If they can get him done before Zed gets there. Gets it clean. Porpoise Pops on the run. Jinte misses a whole lot of shots. A turret grab, and they're right back in it, down now, just about 600 gold.
Yeah, and it's a good job by Porpoise Pops there, saving his flash for after the death mark came out, flashing and not bringing Zed with him on that. So it was very well done by him. Zed, Jinte just immediately retreating after that, saying, you know, I tried.
Mega Zero trying to get Cheese Beluga to come out and play. Cheese Beluga playing it Hikikomori style and staying in the base. Doesn't want to come out. It's a scary world out there. He just wants to play his video games.
You gotta face it someday. But look at Tails. He bought a Last Whisper first. His very, very first item is Last Whisper. No, like, Doran's Blade straight into this. No attack speed, no boots, no Blade of the Rune King.
I will describe that the same way I describe the smothered burrito at Taco Bell. It's bold.
It is a very bold move, though, because nobody on the side of CompLexity has any armor at all. I don't think there's a single armor item on anybody. That's it. They're just relying on the base stats and the runes that they brought. And Tails says, you know, that's going to do it, and he's going on Chuper.
Chuper going to get dropped, and the box is in there. Tails starting it up, but the stun's in. Barrier going to buy him some time. Chuper into the wall and nowhere to go. Down is where he will end up. Fun gets away from Godshoe there, but a big pick for Tails. I mean, you've got some really amazing scaling champs on vVv. Porpoise Pops coming in. Gonna miss the bump just over top of Mega Zero. He turns around to take a look at Cheese Beluga. Porpoise Pops will just let it go with the ult burning, but there's a Mundo on the way down, and they suddenly realize Mega Zero a long way from home with no friends. Silenced up. Not gonna be able to get away from that one. Pops in, puts some more damage down. He's gonna try it on with Porpoise Pops. Gets over the wall. Still a long run to good. Tails coming up. There are a lot of angry blue faces looking for that croc in the woods.
Tails is going to find him here.
Tails that finds him, puts the stun on him, and gets some good damage down. Ignites burning. Tails needs to get a little bit back. He's going to make it through. Okay, if just gets the kill as well.
That was incredible. Godshoe threw out the death sentence right as Mega Zero, he sliced, and then he tried to dice back into Tails, and that surely would have killed Tails, would have been able to get the damage from that, and maybe an auto attack on top of it. But he just hooks him back mid-dice and gets snuggled.
Wow, they're going full tilt on that one. The Lantern's there, and they pull in Chuper. Chuper gonna have to take a couple tower shots. One away from death. There's nobody there to follow it up. Bottom outer's still gonna fall, but what a play from vVv there. Chuper using the skin. It looks so much nicer with that alternate skin. Gets snuggled, runs low. Tails in now. Ninja Kid gonna have to go on the run. Tails gets his third of the game. They cannot let that keep happening. Got themselves a little bit back as Get Snuggled wiped off the field. But now 3 kills, 121 CS on the Tails Vayne. Scary looking indeed. We'll see how it keeps rolling along here. But I gotta say, looking pretty good for Tails. Beluga been having a little bit of trouble, but still in the game. 88 CS. He's down, but still fighting.
Yeah, and he's got 3 kills, 75% kill participation right now. Tails, they need to shut him down. He already bought a Zeal, already bought full boots, and he's going on Mega Zero underneath the turret.
Puts him into the turret. And he's just going to have to deal with it. Porpoise Pop's looking for a way up and around. Besides, better of it. Gets a ward dropped, and they'll have a little vision in the area. Otherwise, just going to get to work there. Zeal done, boots done. He's in good shape right now, I gotta say. Mega Zero gonna get pushed back. Tails gonna put a single shot there onto the turret, but otherwise just leaving it alone. Porpoise Pops comes in to help out one more time. Dragon getting picked up here by CompLexity. May go completely uncontested. MIA pulled over. Little heart-stopping moment there for him for sure. It does back him out. Buys a little time. Gets snuggled coming down. Porpoise Pops over the wall. Can't steal it away. Mega Zero going to be the one to finish it off. Ninja King goes on the run. Box at the front. Going to slow down Mega Zero's rush into the pile. Tails going to flash out the back. In comes Jintei. Got out the back. That flash dropped the ult. I thought he was going to stay in it, but Cheese Beluga comes down and gets one. Chupa runs low. MIA low. If Cheese Beluga can get those cooldowns, double kill. Might look for the triple here on the Ninja King. Down he goes. Double kill for Get Snuggled. A double-double with Mega Zero being the only one to walk out of it. Mid-lane prime. And they're going to push it on over.
Yeah, Jintei made a weird feint. It looked like he was walking away. Then he came back in and then started to walk away again. But they gave Cheese Beluga the positioning he needed to rift walk in and just force pulse him down. The Dragon did go over to CompLexity without Ninja King using Smite. It was all Porpoise Pops smiting it, and then Mega Zero picked that one up just barely. It was just dumb luck at that point. Ninja Ken was holding on to his Smite, didn't use it, and they go 4-0. And now there's a 2k gold lead in the favor of vVv. And I think it's one of the first leads they've seen since the start of the game.
And that's being down a Dragon and being down a turret. Just showing you the power of those kill grabs. Also, big CS lead for Tails. I was bringing it up earlier. Tails already in good shape. Almost leading the CS game there, but it's going to belong to Get Snuggled, who's just been doing work, man. Tails now caught out, 2v1. It's a long walk away from this one. No, yeah, there's no way out of that one. Just try to minimize the damage. Gonna give that one over to Jintei. No free gold out to the support AD combo.
He wasn't standing in the bush. He was just about a pixel off. He was standing there backing Mega Zero. I was like, well, that looks tasty to me. I might as well just pick that one up. And so Tails has his first death of the game, buys a Phantom Dancer straight out off of the Zeal. And he's just doing so much work here. Picks up a Sweeping Lens as well, so he's bringing the Vision Denial.
1600 a bit, Porpoise pops up, just going to hop into the pile. Cheese Beluga following him in. CompLexity is still going to fight it, but God Shoes here. Mega Zero decides they've got the juice to go on it. Chupa trying to get the job finished. MIA dead at the back. Gonna grab two now, and Jintei off. Chupa could run into trouble here. God Shoes still at the back. It's 2 for 1 right now. Chupa getting beat up. Can they finish the job? No! Porpoise Pops can't get out of the way of Mega Zero. Ninja Kid gets there in time for the save, and Chupa will walk out with his life. Gets snuggled in now, and it's going to continue to chase. A nice cooldown. Tails is here. Way to ruin the party. 4-1-2 he goes. And they'll leave Ninja Kin alone too far out.
There's a sacrifice by Mega Zero. He knew he was dead, so he decided, I'm just going to walk back. The only way he could possibly survive is if he kept dodging Mundo Cleavers and then dodging the death sentence. But I don't think he was going to be able to pull something off like that, especially since Tails was closing in, and Tails has red buff.
Just snuggled in on the Ninja Kin, but they'll back it up. MIA actually, back out to the pile.
I lied. He just got the red buff from Mega Zero. I'm pretty sure. So now he has red buff.
That sounds right. We'll just give it over to whatever you said was right in whatever order. Hook not gonna land. Big stun gonna land. They get the shield up. Gonna get to the right side of the box, but it's too little, too late. Jintei gonna grab a kill there. Get snuggled, stuck on the outside of the Cataclysm. Godshoe runs low, burns all the way down there as Jintei finishes him off. Jintei now going to get finished off as Cheese Beluga comes over. Gets snuggled, still in good shape, but Cheese Beluga falling fast. Porpoise pops in. Mega Zero to the backside of the fight. Rift walk. Can he get out? Nope. Mega Zero going to get it as Chupa couldn't follow up. Thought he had it, I think, and then just turned around and walk away. Mega Zero had to finish the job.
Well, he didn't want to get close enough that Cheese Beluga could actually use Rift walk onto him and possibly burst him down.
It's a gentleman's agreement. If you get most of a kill, you just let him get the kill. It's,
if only it worked that way. I'd be challenger by now. Everything just gets away from me all the time. But looks like Mega Zero up top with Get Snuggled, even in terms of levels. But the CS, a little bit in favor of Get Snuggled, just a tiny bit.
Still a 1k gold lead right now for vVv. Fights have been fairly back and forth here. CompLexity getting a couple. vVv reforming and getting a couple. Tails just going to farm it up down bottom. Going to put him in a CS lead if he just clears his way. There he goes. Up to 166, 4-2-3. Tails in great shape. And a lot of focus is going to be on Tails and Cheese Beluga because they have the possibility of putting a lot of damage down very, very quickly.
Yeah, vVv, they're getting all the kills, and it seems like a kill-oriented strategy with some objectives versus a completely objective control-based team here from CompLexity. They have 2 dragons. They have 1 more turret. That's what's keeping them in here. They're down on CS, and they're down in kills, but that's where vVv is making up for those lost dragons.
Tails going to recall. He is sitting on, right now, only about 900 gold. Not a lot of gold in the bank for everybody. The biggest right now, Mega Zero, is sitting at about 1,300. But otherwise, everything fairly even around the board. Zed in good shape, though. Worth talking about. 4-3-2 as Jintae's picked up a couple. Is really going to be a backline terror as things roll in. It's a little bit of an awkward fight, though, as Cheese Beluga is going to be at the front, as is Porpoise Pops. You know, going to be right in there behind him so that he's got good range on his stuff. Not going to be too far away from the fight. We'll see who they decide to prioritize, because certainly right now, evenly spread goes the gold across vVv. A little bit of a pile under Jintae, but still looking good on CompLexity as well.
Yeah, Jintae is in a strange situation as well, because Cheese Beluga has Zhonya's Hourglass, can stop the Deathmark damage. Then Vayne, Tails, he has a QSS already, so he can get rid of the Deathmark. So you really have to choose who you're going to go after here. Are you going to go after the really tanky Mundo, the tanky Vi? Are you going to go after the support with your ultimate? Or are you going to just cut your losses, go after Tails, hope he doesn't have QSS?
And Snuggle's going to get locked up, and they're going to try and pile damage on him. In comes the Lantern, and he'll get out clean. Didn't manage to get anything down. Dragon grab there, the first for vVv of the game. And now just about a 3k gold lead. They're going to get this blue away.
Rotating towards bottom.
Did get it on the Cheese Beluga.
Yeah, they're rotating down bottom. They're going to clear this wave out. It's almost pushed up to the turret. Trooper up in the top lane. They're going to get some alone time, or at least some outnumbered time here. Are they going to be able to make
5 strong onto it. Can they start on this? Obviously, Ninjakin will be able to. Gotta wait for everybody to get there. Look at that damage output from Tails. A bit of an, let's call it a unique build here.
Well, the build order is really what's...
Yeah, that's what I should say. Yeah, not the overall, because we don't know where he's going with it. But starting out with a Last Whisper, goes into a Phantom Dancer. Nothing too weird about that. But then goes straight for the QSS on the back of that. He's going to have plenty of damage output, as you can see there. Tails just getting work done. But normally you see BF Sword fly in there.
Yeah, but the damage that you deal to Tails is going to stick because he doesn't have any lifesteal aside from what he brought in Quintessences. So you usually see something like a Blade of the Ruined King or a Bloodthirster at the least to get yourself some sustain, but he was just doing so well. 2v1 lane, he's like, I got this. I'm going to just build Last Whisper first. Goes in for the duel early on, beats Trooper, and then just builds a Phantom Dancer, and then he just,
None on the Tails, he cleanses it, gets out the back, but it's not good enough as Jintae's got some big damage. Porpoise Pop's going to lock him in place. Cheese Beluga, Zhonya's threw a lot of damage there. Comes out the other side. They will get J4. But right now, a lot of damage coming out from Trooper, who's joining the chase. They're going to try and get Mega Zero out. Porpoise Pop's going to run a little low, get snuggled, stunned up. Jintae gets back into the fight. A nice one. 3 for 1 there in favor of CompLexity to put him right back in the game after vVv looking like they might be able to bully some control out.
All right, so Tails now buys a Vamp Scepter for himself for the extra sustain. Might see a Blade of the Ruined King coming up soon for that self-peel as well, because he had Jintae all over him on that one. He flashes away, barriers, uses the QSS, still drops. So when I was talking about who Jintae targets, he's still going to go after Tails every time, is what it seems. He's just going to go in, try to burst him down. Renekton can go ahead and stun. And if you don't overlap them, you make Tails choose, do I eat the stun or do I eat the Deathmark damage? Because if he QSS's too early, he's going to end up in eating one of those.
Indeed so. And that's basically what happened there is he got the stun up, got a little too close in, wanted to put some damage onto the turret, but the rest of vVv wasn't in tight enough.
They couldn't follow up on that. Tails really just, he got to the back with a flash, but overall, not the best positioning from him that I've seen.
Nope. Tails normally, I mean, really, really on top of that. And you can't impugn him, really. 4-3-3, 204 CS, only one in the game, up over 200 right now. And, you know, he's definitely getting the gold into the bank. But right there, might have just been a little bit too hungry to get the turret finished off. Right now, 3 turrets to 4. The lead belonging to Complexity. A tight game, to say the least, as they're down under 1,000 gold. Only 600 separating the teams here. The fight's going to be very, very big, very important. Cheese Beluga getting some good work done there, but vVv is going to need a better start if they're going to come away with a team fight win.
Yeah, and if we look at Mega Zero, he completed the Thorn Mail, so he's basically saying, I'm going to be in the front line, I'm going to be taking damage, I'm just going to try to deal as much damage as possible and dish some back to people. So he's not really going for a wave clear build just yet. No Ravenous Hydra, Tiamat, no Sunfire Cape. He's going for the team fights.
Cheese Beluga. Gotta get things cleared away bottom side. They will get that bottom inner turret to even up the turret count. 4-4, mid-inner fell, as it was just really Cheese Beluga having a non-start to the game. I mean, he's really gotten back into it in a nice way. A lot of denial there. He was basically farming in the jungle for the early laning moments there. Mid-outer fell down, a big push from Complexity. Mid-inner fell not too long after. He's gotten himself back to 4-3-4. He's 178 CS, 10 out in front of Jinte. And just sitting pretty now. A lot of damage, though, still spread across both teams. Really anybody's game at this point, and a big one for both sides.
Yeah, and Cheese Beluga, you know, he was taking the jungle. Porpoise Pops wasn't really doing it for the most part. He's taking wolves, taking wraiths, and it was stopping Cheese Beluga from pushing forward, because that's really your idea is, I need to CS, I should go forward, but it's a very risky position to be in, so he played it extremely safe. And didn't give up a lot of kills, because they were focused early on trying to shut down Cheese Beluga, but now he's doing just fine.
Yeah, Porpoise Pomp's doing a lot of lane visiting in the early moments, really allowed the Wraith and Wolf camps to belong to Cheese Beluga for a couple of rounds there, kept him in the game as far as gold goes, so that when it came time to fight, he was there in a big way, showed up, got himself a couple of kills in a team fight, walks out sitting pretty, Cheese Beluga recalling. Complexity collapsing towards it, and he'll have to let it go. Wards just dissipate there. And over the wall onto Mega Zero, plenty of health on him. Ninjakin to the back, jumping bump, gonna miss absolutely everybody. Tails with a reposition, they're gonna lock him in. Jinte can't get the job done. Mega Zero looks to get it, can't do it either. Down he goes, Tails gonna get it, that stun ticks away, was not Tails. I'm sorry, Get Snuggled comes over with the save there. Not Get Snuggled, Cheese Beluga, my brain can't do. Chuper off the field as Porpoise Pops grabs one.
That's a 3 for nothing there. Not the engagement they wanted. Mega Zero, their primary diver, was pinned against the wall. A lot of damage coming out to him. Ninja Ken tries to follow it up with a Cataclysm. Not going to help him out. Mega Zero decides to back out instead of going in, and Tails just positions himself on the opposite side of the Cataclysm. Jinte uses the Death Mark, immediately gets QSS'd off, and then is basically all she wrote at that point. Mega Zero gets to him, the stun isn't long enough, and Tails still has barrier available, uses it, and gets out of that fight. It's just not the engagement that Complexity wanted, but vVv taking a very great opportunity that presented itself with the misposition of Mega Zero.
Tails just really wonderfully kiting the dragon there. At the edge of the reset. Gets him to turn around a couple times. Actually, that was with the ult. The tumble was getting it done nicely. So, got to take care of Dragon without any problem. 2-2 goes the Dragon count. The lead now, 4,500 gold for vVv. The team fight, extremely strong as long as they get in good. That's been part of the problem. MIA. They'll pop the Ascension and run at him.
Nothing really happening. They have... Oh, they're going to get 2 wards with that sweeper. They're like, there's something fishy going on here. Place
That's
it
a
down.
feel-good sweeper right there.
Yeah, you can get your
one
money's
more.
worth.
Saw that one come down. Whew. Out of wards now. vVv pressing the front, just trying to keep it nice and tidy here. Obviously, Complexity going to be looking for another good initiation. In that case, the terrain was what got them. Spread around the sides there. They had a good run on Tails. Focused very heavily on getting the Vayne off the field, and that's something that's very easy to be guilty of, and rightly so. In that case, Tails coming away with no picks. Stays 4-3. I'm going to add on a couple assists there to make it 4-3-5. Going to go 5-3-5 on Kassadin, however. Both sides here getting pretty big on some pretty important players. The one person that's really missing out right now is Chuper, who's 139. A lot of assists, but hasn't locked down the big gold for himself.
Yeah, and we have a 0-1-14 for Godshoe, just doing so much work helping out.
That's
Ugh,
the support. That's right. That's how you want it to look. No kills. Want all those assists, all for yourself.
And Get Snuggled, basically same kill participation. Exactly, and he's gonna face check Mega Zero.
And Mega Zero are going to go for it. Corpus Pops comes in from the side. coL a little wide spread here. Jumping bump again, not going to land. Ninja Kin boxed out to the side. MIA now trapped in. Drops Tibbs. Stays alive. Gets snuggled still at the front as Jinte runs him way back. It's going to give him some quality time, but Mundo's still alive and kicking. Hope burning now as they'll try to catch it up. vVv says, no, let's better get ourselves a turret. Who's going to take it out? Get snuggled, getting back into shape. They're not going to give up the front here. Porpoise Pops decides to run the front. Tails skin some golems. Hungry for those golem snacks. They could probably use him on the turret right now.
So the engagement of that fight was really strange from both sides. I'm surprised that Get Snuggled didn't check the bush with a cleaver, first off. But then Mega Zero uses his W, his stun, his Ruthless Predator on Mundo, and then uses Slice and Dice straight to Vayne. Gets to Vayne and says, wait a second, I just used my stun on Mundo. So he gets to Vayne and he can't do anything to him. He has no stun available. So he gets there, realizes what he's done, and tries to back out. But then at that point, it's too late.
Yeah, and Jinte comes in. And again, that stun being put onto Mundo meant the QSS got spent on Jinte's ult.
Well, actually, he used it before that. He used it out of an Annie stun. And then he rolled out of Cataclysm. And he ate the death mark because Jinte made it all the way to the back line, but he wasn't able to do any damage because Cheese Beluga was there to silence him and force Pulse just blow him up right after the death mark went down.
Well, there you go. Still gets out of it anyway. And again, that big stun at the beginning could have been the difference there. Tibber's stun would have locked up Tails. Really could have been a big fight for Complexity, but started off just the tiniest of miscalculations there by Mega Zero. Ends up costing Complexity a fairly big team fight now as vVv is starting to get really, really nicely into the lead here as we roll through 32 minutes.
Now, it's quite possible that he tried to queue up the Ruthless Predator and then go for the Slice and Dice, but then his character just attacked the nearest enemy. Is just strange. It looked funny, though, because he comes straight up to him and goes, well, I don't know what I'm doing here. That's like a Nidalee Spear worth of damage, even more.
Like a snowball into a fire pit right there. Chuper melting away.
If he had hit him with the Rift Walk, I think he may have died.
Yeah, that was quick. 2/3 of his health is gone. Big red bar right there. Hurts to watch. But Chuper going to make it back to the pool okay.
Thankfully for Chuper, then. And is he going to buy anything that's going to help him out on that? He's going to get a Blade of the Ruined King soon. But I think he's really sitting there going, I need to get a GA or a Banshee's Veil. Caston's just going to blow me up. He blows up Jinte already.
Scary stuff. Jinte, in that case, I mean, he just ended up too far into enemy territory. Might have been able to spin it around for Complexity if they had gotten through, get snuggled, but he is big as all get out right now, pushing on 4,000 health. Has got Warmogs. Nice. That's just a beautiful thing. Randu and Zoman got himself some Thornmail Sunfire Cape as well.
And because he has so much health regen, he's sitting at 269 HP 5 right now with his passive. Lower he gets, that'll increase because of Perseverance, but he's getting enough HP.
It's Chuper or bust to kill Get Snuggled, basically.
Pretty much. It pretty much is. And even if you get him low, he still has the Sadism available to give him 60% of his max HP, plus the fact that he hasn't actually built a Spirit Visage yet. So they do still have a little bit of a chance.
Just got no need to, really.
Yeah, he has so much HP regen, the numbers are actually popping up.
Yeah, 27 a tick there on the passive regen. And I gotta say, yeah, I mean, with Annie really the only threat AP-wise, and even then not very much of one. That explains why the Warmogs came out. It's short of the Spirit Visage. He's not going to add on too much to him, but man, if he does add that on, he's going to have about 1 million health per second regen, and might just be able to hang out on the enemy laser and hang out in the enemy pool. Let the laser get him, give him a nice tan.
Take him 4 seconds to kill him.
Tattoo and hair removal, important stuff that you can get done at the enemy pool.
He can afford it though. He's corporate Mundo. He's
absolutely. He runs Mundo Make Good Deal.
They're looking for something here. The pink ward's coming down, clearing out the vision.
Mundo buy low, sell high, and with the Baron buff spinning there, keep the pressure on the front.
Now Vayne isn't the longest range ADC, sitting at 550. Has to get pretty close to actually hit that turret. Has to be at the top of the steps. That's going to put her in range of the turret and also in range of all of CompLexity. So if they decide to dive on her when she goes up for a little bit of an auto attack, maybe a flash Tivers, we'll see. That would be the engagement.
Gonna walk it out. Lane cleared out. vVv being very cautious about this move in, although they haven't had any trouble with team fights whatsoever. Going to take a couple of shots there, and Tails will back it up. Not really the biggest problem. Their huge damage output is coming from two relatively short rangers there. Cheese Beluga will have a little bit of range on the Q, the W. But otherwise, he's got to get up close and personal. Tails very much the same way. He doesn't have a ton of range on him. Trooper going to get pulled off onto the side. I'm trying to start it up. Cheese Beluga to the back. He's going to go gold. Turn it around, get snuggled, just standing at the front. They can't actually get damage to stick to him.
And Jinte used his death mark on Cheese Beluga. That's why he ended up using the Zonia's Hourglass there. Tails, you know, the flash Tivers came in, like I said, but was immediately ready to QSS it. I could see it coming. He could see it coming. It was predictable, and they just disengaged that. Nobody died, and they didn't get any kills either.
117 per tick on the get snuggled ult. They were hitting him with just about everything they had. I mean, he was the front line for a while there, and just the tiniest little slivers like minions attacking him. They couldn't get anything to stick to him, and one of those things to say, when you don't think too much about how you're going to spread your damage around, you end up with a lot of AD like you got on CompLexity side. It makes the front line build very, very easy for vVv, and they're just taking full advantage of it right now as CompLexity having a hard time getting damage onto vVv.
Yeah, even if you build penetration items, it's still a lot of armor to try and chunk through. Get Snuggled is sitting at 347, still has one more item he could possibly build. Has a door and shield. We'll probably see something like a Spirit Visage, or he'll build a Guardian Angel or something along those lines. Maybe some extra damage, I don't know. But he's going back right now. I assume he's going to purchase
Could throw
something.
Frosty Gloves in there, just for kicks.
Shit, maybe.
A little bit extra on.
What?
Yeah, why not?
No. I'm looking at
Stinger.
what he actually bought. Okay.
Good enough.
So, that could be a
Is
Nash's
he going
tooth
Zephyr
or Zephyr?
for the what you call it? Tenacity.
Tenacity. He gets some tenacity from his W while it's up. He has reduction to CC by 30%. So if he stacks that on top, I mean, it could be a Nash's tooth. I wouldn't put that past him either.
Why not?
Wouldn't be as effective. But
Not a lot of AP on him right now, but you buy whatever looks good to you. That's how it works in the shops. That's how it works here.
so I guess Stinger is the weapon of choice here. Into a Zephyr, I would assume. That's unique. I'll put it that way. I mean, you
Maybe
give
not.
him a lot of wiggle room.
Gonna make him scarier at the front. You get that E-popped, it's a non-trivial amount of damage. You know, attack damage bumped by 85, I think, something like that.
It's ridiculous. And then you get more per percent HP that you're missing. So the lower he is, the stronger he is. And it's only rank 4, so yeah, it's at 85. And then he gets 0.85 for every percent that he's missing. That's a lot. So he could be... I mean, ideally, if he's sitting at 1%, he'll have something along the lines of 170 or 169 extra attack damage. That's just beastly.
Worth mentioning, it's right now. Whoa. Jinte gonna lose half his health there. 3 dragons to 2 with vVv out front there. They're 10k gold fully in the lead. And just gonna come in and work down this turret. CompLexity not scared to start one up, but just putting no damage down. MIA! Cheese Beluga gonna melt him down. Ninjakin comes over to the far side to try to do anything, but in comes Porpoise Pops to finish that one up. Tails now in a bad way. He's gonna get a little bit of help now as Gonchu and get Snuggle get repositioned. Cheese Beluga grabs one more. Hey, why not add one onto the pile for get Snuggled 7-11. I'm gonna go ahead and call him the MVP because I just like watching the numbers pop up.
Well, Tails has been kiting around all day.
What's the 5K, is he? No, it's still.
And something funny I noticed, you know that sound you make when somebody's getting blown up? Whoa, it sounded like you were trying to make the Force Pulse sound.
Down goes Trooper. Cheese Beluga gonna blow him up just shy of the pool. GG calls there. vVv gonna get one back after an arduous game against Cognitive. vVv will get a little bit back for themselves. CompLexity gonna lose one more, and we got one more game today. We're gonna go ahead and get